never had a painting commissioned for me in my life, and I never will have another one after this one. But I thought it was pretty exciting to be able to call up an artist, and this guy's name is Brian Whelan, W-H-E-L-A-N. And Brian was on the back of my daily devotional. And he had painted something for a cathedral in London. He's an Irish guy. He's an Irish Catholic, born in London, which is not the nicest combination of things, where the British are not that excited about Catholics. But in any case, this guy used to live in Northern Virginia. So I found the number, I called the number, and surprisingly, this lady answers. And I said, hi, I'm Les Smith. I saw your number, and she says, oh, do you want to speak to Brian? I thought, do I want to speak to Brian? Well, of course, I'd love to speak to Brian. So he was close by, and so he gets on the phone, and I said, would you consider painting a picture of the healing of the 10 lepers? Well, rather than read that section out of Luke 17, 11 to 19. So when you get back to your home, Luke 17, 11 to 19. You know, a story we've heard several times. But, so I asked him, would he do it? He said, well, I've never done it before. I would like to hear your ideas of how to paint it. Yeah, right. I'm going to tell him how to paint. You know, world-famous guy who does magnificent artwork. I'm going to tell him how to paint this. So I said, well, why don't you send me some sketches about what you're going to do? I said, the only thing I want on the painting is the actual written on here, and this is what I've named the painting, the Exultant Leper. Of course, of the 10, he's the only guy who came back before he got to the priests to present themselves. So I'll do a little quick explanation, but one day I'll be so senile that I won't remember what this painting's about, but hopefully my lovely wife will be able to go through the words with me and explain it a bit there. But from left to right, here are 5 of the lepers that are still, of course, filled with leprosy. So they find Jesus, and they're ringing their bell, which they always had to do, yelling, unclean, unclean. They get the attention of Jesus. He says, all right. Doesn't say you're healed or anything like that. He just simply says, go present yourself to the priests, because that was how you got approval to go back into the culture and take part in the synagogue and blah, blah, blah. So they're on their way from that scene of white splotchy skin being held on by these bandages. This person here in the middle, I think it's actually a lady. She's actually throwing bandages off. They're dropping at her feet. She's moving on. Of course, the Holy Spirit being invoked by Jesus for the healing. These guys over to the right, 3 of them are represented there. Most of their bandages, most of their skin is now fleshed out. So this transition, and of course, both of these guys are Jesus. And he doesn't look like your typical white European. He's a dark-skinned Palestinian. And he is, involved with these folks. And then the priests, I found it interesting that Brian kind of put them in where they appear a bit skeptical, maybe. I don't know if that's, but when I asked him, I went to his home in Connecticut to pick up the painting a month ago, lived with him overnight, this amazing place he has, and met his wife and met the guy who lives in the mother-in-law shack beside him. And this cat was the Nobel Prize winner in physics a few years ago, for you physics people. So I got to meet some interesting folks at his house. But the whole point of the painting for me is, I am the exultant leper. I am the guy who better always be at the feet of Jesus, giving thanks. This guy kind of looks at you at night when you're walking through to get a drink of water from the refrigerator, and you walk by this guy, and you walk by the two depictions of Jesus. Their eyes are a little bit flecked with something, and they kind of follow you as you head to the fridge. So this guy is a Samaritan. Jesus is knocked out by the fact that he's the only one of the 10, a despised Samaritan, even in a leper colony. I'm sure he was the lowest life in the colony, but he's the one who came back. So I was excited to get this painting. As I say, it's on my mantle. If you ever want to come in and look at it, just knock on the door. I've shown it to a few folks. I even brought the garbage men in from the truck this week. I said, do you mind leaving the truck out here, walk in, see this? Because they are both really devout Christians, and they were knocked out by the painting. So it's been fun already. Hopefully I can enjoy it for years and years. Thanks, Phil.